The law of conservation of mass states that in a chemical change, matter is neither created nor destroyed. It is only rearranged.
Endothermic reaction is a process that absorbs energy from its surroundings in the form of heat. Breaking bonds requires energy. Exothermic reactions is a process by which energy is released in the form of heat. Forming a chemical bond releases energy. This first experiment involves burning sugar in a pan. The chemical formula for this reaction is C12H22O11 equals C12 plus 11H2O. In this particular experiment, if done correctly, at the end there will be no solid remaining, as the products, carbon and H2O, will evaporate into the air. Unfortunately, I had to be sure I didn't ruin my mom's pan, so I cut the experiment a little short. This experiment has an exothermic reaction because when the sugar is heated, it releases heat as chemical bonds are broken. This reaction demonstrates the law of conservation of mass by transferring a solid into a liquid and gas, yet mass remains conserved. In this reaction, I will be combining baking soda and vinegar. When this reaction occurs, the substance bubbles up, releasing CO2. H2O, or water, and NaC2H3O2, which is sodium acetate, are left behind in the cup. Hence, the law of conservation of mass applies here, as some solid and liquid are left behind, and the rest of the mass is released as a gas. Yet mass is still conserved. This reaction is endothermic because it takes energy in to break chemical bonds, then cools down after, since heat energy is no longer needed. In this reaction, I will be combining vinegar and sugar. When putting these two substances together, no reaction occurs. Hence, this reaction is neither endothermic or ectothermic. And the law of conservation of mass applies, but because the sugar and vinegar are still just there. The chemical equation for this is C12H22O11 plus C2H4O2, and it equals the same thing as the reactants. In this next experiment, I will be covering a hard-boiled egg in vinegar to remove its shell. The chemical formula for this experiment is CaCO3 2H yields 2, Ca plus H2O plus CO2. Vinegar has a chemical compound called acetic acid. The eggshell contains calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate in the eggshell reacts with vinegar to form carbon dioxide, evident by the bubbles in the vinegar. This is an endothermic reaction, as the reaction absorbs energy, then the mixture cools down afterwards, which indicates that the energy was indeed absorbed.